Hi everybody, it's Shawana Intarazem here from yoursacredtransformation.com, and today is day 321 out of 366 days to transform all fears back into love through love and beyond. And we are very deep in our vulnerability series called Your Vulnerability is Literally the Gold Mine of Your Happiness. Exploring your vulnerabilities as we have been the last 7, 8, maybe 9 days is literally the key to experiencing a richness of greater connection inside yourself, a richness in connection with others, if you are willing to do the journey. So come on a journey with us today. We're on the second part of a 3-part series inside this vulnerability series on dealing with the vulnerability of sharing your wounds, which is something I was saying earlier yesterday, we don't do as a culture very well. I mean, if you look around, we have acting out going on left, right, and center. We have hatred going on left, right, and center. Bullying, misogyny, all the things that we're all seeing all over the place. And I have to wonder, and I'm inviting you to do as well, what causes this? What macrocosm is being played out of all of our microcosms? And certainly after this last election, I knew, wow, there's more work to do. There's always more work to do. But very clearly, as is reflected by the larger culture, there's definitely work to do on the archetypes that are being brought up. So yesterday I left with the question of, starting to engage with the wound and find out what it actually needs. And again, we are building a larger container. We are building an open field so that you can relate more openly, more non-defendedly to what it is that is going on, so you can extract and pull out the richness of your real experience rather than being in any kind of fight, flight, or numb mode, which most of us do with our wounds. So we're not going to do that. We're going to actually choose to make a difference right now and pivot. And so I am just wanting to create an open space and invite you to, again, to reflect on, what did you learn when you dialogued with your wound? What did it share with you around what it actually needs? This is a very intimate process. It's a very sacred process. And ultimately, it's also a very deeply transformative process. So very simply, I'm going to offer a couple ways to do that today. One is to start from a baseline of learning to be really okay with the sensations that the wound brings up for you. So I mentioned yesterday my particular wound of wanting to take a bigger space, and I shared with you sort of where that originated and the core messages I got. And I also shared with you the sensations of this fluttering, energy around my heart when I move into my bigness, and the presence that you can bring to those sensations. So for me, the fluttering, if I'm very, very present with those sensations, like just slowly right now, I'm feeling the fluttering, and I am feeling my capacity to be present, really saturating those sensations with a presence. And as I do that, everything opens up. I am no longer as fluttery, certainly less. And the more I focus presence on that, the more okay I actually am, and the more okay you can be with what exactly is coming up on the sensation list. So the first step is to start practicing and getting really okay with the sensations of the wound in your body. This tells your wound that your body has the ability to be present with it. I'm going to say that again one more time. When you practice bringing presence to sensations, this communicates to your body that you have the ability to be with what's there on a very somatic nervous system base level. And that is the groundwork from which feelings come, which emotions come, and along with thoughts create moods. We want our baseline to be full of resourced presence. This is like a great way to start. And from there, there's room to open up a conversation and to simply begin to ask the wound what it has to share with you. Sometimes I particularly like to do writing exercise with this with my non-dominant hand. So I'm normally right-handed. I would actually write out the answers from my left hand from the wound to me, my adult self, telling me what it needs or what it wants to share with me. And this non-dominant hand, if you're left hand, then you do right hand, and so on and so forth. It actually accesses a much younger place. And so what comes out is very clear, very sort of not manipulated by your regular mind. And this is a gem because you want that clear information. I definitely encourage that. Another way you can do it is actually do it out loud or record it on a voice memo and actually be willing and courageous to listen to it later. Again, if you want the big transformation, you've got to be willing to really do the work and to take risks. And this is certainly a risky thing, even if you're just the only one listening to it. Another way you can start to really communicate around the wound area is also to ask, have it ask, be able to communicate to it as well. So we did the wound to you, the adult, but then there's also the adult to the wound. So maybe after finding out what the wound needs, you can also communicate from the adult and be able to share with it what you would like to impart on, or maybe there's messages that you would like it to know, or things like that. And so I'm inviting you to open up these conversations. And again, this is being really, really intimate with yourself. I know it's kind of funny, but humor's good. You know, silly Mike Myers always said that intimacy was into me, I see, in The Love Guru, which is a funny, ridiculous movie. But that was also really true. Into me, I see, intimacy. Being willing to turn the flashlight on, being willing to look within, being willing to ask the difficult questions and be okay waiting and seeing what the answers are. So I'm going to leave you with that today. There will be more on the subject tomorrow. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for the invitation to do this particular subject matter that someone suggested to me the other day. If there are particular vulnerabilities you would like me to address in this series before it's over, please send them to me or private message me. I will absolutely look into those. Have a great night, and I'll see you again soon.